Hi there, once again, this is me, your English teacher Adonai Calderon, for a new English lesson. And in this video, I would like to share the structure about future tense, where we are going to learn about the formula to structure affirmative, negative, and interrogative statements. Okay, so I bet that we're going to learn a lot in this video. Here we go, get started. Right here, this is the grammar in context as an introduction for the future tense. Well, before we listen to the following lecture, I would like you to think over the year 2050 and try to predict which business will create the most jobs. Computers? Robots? Space travel? Okay, let's figure out about jobs in the future based on this lecture. Pay attention, here we go. Where to look for jobs in the future? Jobs in the future: computers, robots, space travel. Which business will create the most jobs? Did you guess space travel? If so, Professor Patrick Collins, a professor of economics in Japan, agrees with you. At a recent lecture, he said, it won't be long before people will call their travel agents and book their flights to the moon. Imagine, yes, there is a room on tomorrow's flight to the moon. It leaves at 9 a.m. It's going to be full, so please arrive early for a check-in. Of course, many people disagree with Collins. They think space travel will cost too much, and not many people will travel. They also think that people won't feel safe enough to travel into space. But Collins' research shows that the majority of people think it will be worth saving their money to travel into space. He claims that while it will probably start out as an activity for a few rich individuals, it will grow very quickly, just like aviation, airplane industry grew in the last 100 years. After all, Collins reminds us, the Wright brothers flew their first plane in 1903. Alright, now I would like you to focus also in the verse because this is about future tense. At the end, I'm going to present to you some statements where you're going to say true or false. Here we go, the second part of the lecture. Pay attention. Where to look for jobs in the future? If Collins is right that people will travel to space as tourists, then like all tourists, they're going to stay in hotels. They're going to want tourists and they will certainly expect some entertainment. All of these will require many people and that will mean many new jobs. Some of these space jobs will be similar to Earth jobs, but they will have some unique challenges. For instance, how will a space waiter serve food in a gravity-free restaurant? And what about fitness trainers? Teaching aerobics class in space will require some new moves in addition to a lot of more flexibility in all directions. But not all space jobs will be more difficult. Some will be easier. The job of a porter, for instance. No more carrying heavy luggage. It will just float along. Well, one thing is certain about these space jobs. They won't be boring. Please note, if you missed this great lecture, Professor Collins is speaking again at a space conference tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Alright, so as I said, we are going to present to you some statements where you're going to say true or false based on the lecture that you already heard. Great, here we go. What's Professor Collins' opinion? Okay, read each statement and there are 8 statements below. We are going to write true or false under Collins. But we are going to give our opinion. And the first statement says space travel won't create more jobs in the future. What's your opinion? You say true or false. Number 2. People won't feel safe enough to travel in space. 3.
The space travel business won't grow very quickly. True or false? Number 4. At first, only rich people are going to travel as space tourists. Number 5. People won't save money to travel into space. True or false? 6. There will be hotels in space. Next one. Space jobs won't be completely different from Earth jobs. And the last one. Space jobs will have some interesting new problems. Great. Now, my personal opinion is this. Based on Collins saying true or false. There you have. The first one is false. Space travel won't create more jobs in the future. This is false. Professor Collins said that space travel will create more jobs in the future because there's going to be more new interesting things. Number 2, people won't feel safe enough to travel into space. That's true. The space travel business won't grow very quickly. Okay, that's true. At first, only rich people are going to travel as a space tourist. True. Number 5 is false. People won't save money to travel into space. Absolutely, that's false because Professor Collins said people are going to save money to travel into space. Number 7 is false too. Space jobs won't be completely different from Earth jobs. That's false. Okay, continue. Right now, I'm going to present grammar structure. What is the going to tense? Well, going to future expresses a conclusion of the immediate future or an action in the near future that is already planned or prepared. Right here, we are going to structure the going to or the future tense. You have positive, negative, and interrogative form. In the first one, we said, I am going to speak. Negative form, I am not going to speak. Interrogative, yes, no question, we say, am I going to speak? And then, in plural form, or in plural subjects, they are you, we, they. We are going to say, you are, they are, we are going to speak. Negative form, you are not going to speak. Interrogative form, are you going to speak? Great. However, in singular subject, such as he, she, and it, we are going to say he is, she is, or it is going to speak. Negative form, he is not going to speak. Is he going to speak? Remember, we are going to make emphasis in the adverb not for negative form. We say, for example, he is not going to speak. You are not going to speak. I am not going to speak. And then, for interrogative, just no questions, we are going to say this pronunciation. Am I going to speak? Are you going to speak? Is he going to speak? That sounds like our falling as a rising intonation. Am I going to speak? Are you going to speak? Is he going to speak? Great, keep going. We have the formula here. Future with going to. As I already said, I, you, he, she, and it, and we and they are the subject. We are going to conjugate with the auxiliary verb. They are the verb to be. And then we are going to say going to. In negative form, not going to, plus the base form of the verb. And this one is travel. So the whole sentence can be, I am going to travel. You are going to travel. He, she, and it is going to travel. Using another verb can be like, we are going to eat. They are going to study. Great. But in negative form we can say, I am not going to travel. You are not going to travel. He, she, and it is not going to travel. We and they are not going to travel. This is the structure for affirmative and negative form. Then, questions. Am I going to travel? Are you going to travel? Is he or she or it going to travel? Are we going to travel? Are they going to travel? Great. For the answer of this type of questions, we have yes, I am. Yes, you are. For example, is he going to travel? Yes, he is. Is your sister going to travel? Yes, she is. Are your brothers and sisters going to travel? Yes, they are. Negative form can say, are you going to study? No, I'm not. Okay. Is she going to buy food? No, she's not. Okay. Are they going to visit Europe next year? Yes, they are. Great. You have also the contracted form for negative form. I am not. That's the exception, right? We cannot contract this form. But you are not? Yes, we can. We say you aren't. He, she, and it is not. We say isn't. We are not. We say we aren't. They are not. They aren't. Great. But we have another type of questions. They are the double-edged questions or open questions. There you have information questions with going to. We have, first of all, we have to place the double-edged questions, then the verb to be, plus the subject, and then going to, and we are going to finish with the base form. For example, what I'm going to travel, where I'm going to travel in this case. Where am I going to travel? Okay, or we can say, when are you going to travel? We can also say, why are you going to travel? How are you going to travel? Using subject in singular form. When is she going to travel? Where is he going to travel? Why is he going to travel? Using plural form, we can say, how are they going to travel? Why are they going to travel? Where are they going to travel? Very good. And then you say, what are you going to do next week? Or who are you going to travel with next week? Anytime that you are going to ask the question with who, you have to place with at the end of the sentence. And then it's optional to add a preposition, time expression. And this one, the time expression is next week. So you say, who are you going to travel with next week? Alright, keep going. Quick practice. Help me to complete this part. We are going to fill in the blanks below to complete the sentence. We are going to use the verb, well, we are going to use the future tense. The first one it's already as an example for us, but then the second is, your brother travel next week. Of course, this is a yes no questions. There you have. Is your brother going to travel next week? The answer can be yes, he is. Number 3, Alex. Alex is going to go to work today because he's sick. Well, in this one, it sounds like negative form. Can be like negative form. We say Alex is not going to go to work today because he is sick. This is negative form. Number 4, Bob and Kathy are going to see a movie tonight. It starts at 7 o'clock. Number 5, just no question. Okay, number 6, negative form. We are too busy, so we aren't going to have lunch. Number 7, are you going to watch TV tonight? No, I am not. Number 8, where are they going to stay when they visit Paris? Number 9, my classmates tonight are going to have test next Monday. We have to study. And the last one, what? Great. What are you going to buy for your sister's birthday present? Birthday present. Alright, let's practice another tense. The future with be going to. Well, this is another example of future with be going to. For example, in statements we have, we are going to travel. In just no questions, we say, are we going to travel by car? The answer is, yes, we are. Double H questions. When are we going to travel? The second one, is she going to work as a nurse? Question, is she going to work at a hospital? No, she isn't. Where is she going to work? The third one, you aren't going to send Grandpa a present? Are you going to send a e-card? Yes, I am. Why aren't you going to send a Grandpa a present? Okay, notice here how we are going to use the structure for the future tense using be going to. These are the statements, yes, no questions, and open questions. Alright. And now we are going to use the future with will. With will. How do we form the statements, questions, and answer with will? Okay, let's practice this part. We have first of all the subjects right here in the first column, and then we are going to place the auxiliary will. In negative form, we say will not. Contracted, we say won't. And then we are going to place the base form of the verb. Why? Because this is the auxiliary that modifies the verb. So we say, I will go tomorrow. You will go tomorrow. He, she, and it will go tomorrow. We will go tomorrow. They will go tomorrow. But if you want to say negative form, we say, I will not go tomorrow. You will not go tomorrow. He, she, and it will not go tomorrow. We and they will not go tomorrow. But if you want to say contracted, you say won't. Won't. I won't go tomorrow. You won't go tomorrow. Keep going. Just no questions using will. Will. Remember, will is for the future tense. As well, be going to. The one that we already studied. For the just no questions using will, we are going to place first of all the auxiliary, the subjects, and then the base form of the verb, such as, will I go tomorrow? The second one, will you go tomorrow? Will she and it will go tomorrow? We will go tomorrow? Will they go tomorrow? Great. The answer. For answering this type of questions, we say, will you go tomorrow? Yes, I will. Will he go tomorrow? Yes, he will. For negative form, I will go tomorrow. No, you won't. Or no, you will not. Will we go tomorrow? No, we will not. Or no, we won't. The contracted form. And now you have the information questions or open questions. As it is always in the structured, in English we say the double H questions, then the auxiliary verb plus the subject, and then the base form of the verb. The sentence can be, or the questions can be, when will I go tomorrow? When will I go? When will I go? If I say tomorrow, I'm answering in the same question, right? So say, when will I go? Where will I go tomorrow? Where will I go tomorrow? Why will I go? How will I go? Alright? So keep in mind these structures to build the questions or to build the sentences in affirmative or negative form. And keep in mind, if you are using who, remember you place who and then with, such as this example. Who will you go with tomorrow? ¿Con quién irás? Who will you go with tomorrow? Alright, keep going. Grammar notes. There are several ways to talk about future. Here you have some examples. We're going to use these type of tenses, such as be going to, will, present progressive, and simple present. All of these four tenses can be used for future plans, for future actions. Let's see. We're going to use be going to, such as they are going to have a meeting. But also we can use will. I think I'll go. The third example, using present progressive or present continuous, we can use it for an expression in the future. It's taking place next week. It's taking place next week. And the last one, simple present. We can use the simple present for a future event. It starts at 9 a.m. on Monday. Alright, then to make prediction or guesses about the future, we are going to use be going to or will. There you have the example. People are going to travel to space, or people will travel to space. Look at those dark clouds. It's going to rain. Oh, here it's important. We have be careful, just be going to instead of will. When something in the present helps you to make the prediction about the future. In other words, you have to have an antecedent. This is my antecedent here. Look at those dark clouds. It's going to rain. We are going to use be going to when you have an antecedent. Great. Number 3. To talk about future intentions or plans, use be going to, use will, or use present progressive. This is the example. I'm going to fly to Mars next week. Or you say, I fly to Mars next week. I'm flying to Mars next week. Remember, intentions or plans. We often use will when we decide something at the moment of speaking, such as this example. This is a short conversation. The show is opening next week. Sound interesting? I think I go. We decide at the same moment that we are talking. Then you can use will. Great. We often use the present progressive when we talked about future plans that are already arranged. I'm flying to Chicago next month. I already have a ticket. Alright? So if you have planned the action, then you can use the present progressive to express that action in the future. Great. Keep going. But also, guys, we can talk about scheduling future events, such as timetable, programs, schedules, whatever. Use the simple present. The verbs are start, leave, end, and begin, and they are often used in this way, such as the shuttle leaves at 9 a.m. You know what shuttle is? A shuttle runs between 2 or more places regularly. So it means a form of transportation. For example, the benefit to staying at a hotel close to the airport is that you can take a shuttle to commute, right? So that is a mean of transportation. So we say the shuttle leaves at 9 a.m. for a future event. The second example, the conference starts tomorrow morning. Great. I like this type of sentences. Remember, the verbs are start, leave, end, and begin. Now, I want you to help me to fill in the blanks these sentences. There are 10 sentences using will. The first one says, the movie will start soon. Let's find a seat and sit down. Number 2. Will your friend be at the party? Yes, she will. Hello, Mr. Smith. This is Peter. I be at work today because I'm sick, so probably it is in negative form. I won't be at work because I am sick. I feel bad, right? Number 4. Those bags look heavy. Let me help. I will carry the big one for you. My brother speak to me because he's very angry. It looks like a negative form. Yeah, my brother won't speak to me because he's very angry. What about number 6? What time? Oh, this is an open question. What time will the sun rise tomorrow morning? 7. Will will you be 20 years old next month? No, I won't. Number 8. Flight CX793 will depart from gate 12 in 10 minutes. And the last one? Alright. Okay, so guys, the future with will, the future with be going to, and the future with present continuous. You have here the explanation. You use will for future beliefs, opinions, hopes, and predictions, such as spontaneous decisions or promises. For example, let's imagine that Barcelona and Manchester United are playing, and then you say, United will win definitely tonight. So you are here making a prediction. And then the second example, she will probably come with me or with us. She will probably come with us. Again, this is like, it sounds like an opinion. And then it will probably rain tomorrow. Again, once again, another prediction. And then below you have the structure, the subject plus the verb. Right here, affirmative, and here the negative form. Going to. Let's practice going to. We use plans, intentions, and predictions with be going to. For example, I am going to have a party on Friday. It sounds like a plan. Right here, planned. I'm going to learn to drive. Intentions and prediction, I think it's going to rain tomorrow. Great. Right here you have the structure, the subjects, the verb, and then the complement. I am going to have, okay, you are going to have, and then you complete the sentence. In negative form, I am not going to have. You, we, and they are not going to have. But what about present continuous? We use for the future when we talked about plans, social arrangement, and appointments, such as I'm having a party next Friday. Alright? Or you say I'm taking my first driving lessons on Monday. And then this is the structure, as you know. Keep going. Right here we are going to practice a little bit about pronunciation. This is the lecture. I'm going to play the audio and try to follow me. 1, 2, and 3.
In my opinion, life in the future will be very different.
This one.
How's will pollution is. There are millions of factories and millions of cars on our planet. These cars and factories cause air pollution. Pollution is making temperatures on the earth higher. We call this the greenhouse effect. In the future, we will possibly see many changes because of these increases in temperature. The ice at the north and south poles will become watered. As a result, the sea will become covered the coast in many parts of the world. Some kinds of animals will travel far away from their normal homes to find food, but others will not survive. The desert will be bigger and some trees and plants will only be available to survive in northern parts of the world. Since 1900, the average temperature of the Earth has increased by 0.6 degrees Celsius. Temperatures may go up 4 more degrees in the next 50 years. This means that the Earth will be warmer than any time in the past, and the number of hot summers will increase in the 1900s. Scientists all over the world are already sending out warming messages. They want people to do something now to stop the greenhouse effect. Not all scientists think that the greenhouse effect is a big problem. P. White from England has studied the Earth's temperature over the last 90 years. He says that increases in temperature has stopped. A survey in Science magazine showed that the temperatures of the world seas have not increased in the last 10 years. The greenhouse effect will have some positive results too. When the ice becomes watered at the poles, we will have more rain, and more rain will help more plants and trees to grow. It is even possible that there will be no more deserts in the world, and the more carbon dioxide will make the earth grow richer for growing food.
Alright, so the more you practice pronunciation, that's the way that you are going to develop better your skills. Now, after practicing this part, I'm going to share another audio, but in this time, this is not a simple audio because I'm going to ask you the following questions. The questions are: why will houses be more efficient in the future? Second, what will house robots do? The third one, where will students go to school in the future? Next one, how will teach students of the future? And the last one, how often will students have lessons? For answering these questions, I'm going to play an audio, but at this time you're not going to be available to see it. Just listen carefully to the audio. 1, 2, and 3.
In my opinion, life in the future will be very different. Houses will be more efficient because they will have solar energy, and all electrical appliances will use solar energy too. Fridges will talk to people and tell them what temperature to store the food at. And fridges will tell people when there isn't enough food or drink. Everyone will have robots at home. House robots will do lots of different things around the house. They will clean, they will go shopping when the fridge tells them to, they will help look after their children, they will drive parents to their place of work. Every person in a house will own a computer. Students won't go to school anymore. Instead, they will stay at home with a virtual teacher. They will have lessons on their computer every day, including weekends. There will be no televisions, and everyone will watch TV on their computers. There will be no arguments in houses if people want to watch different programs at the same time. I think people will have more free time. They will travel more, but they won't travel by car. Everyone will use electrical buses and trains with robot drivers. I think people will go on holiday to the moon in space rockets. And if they are rich, they will travel to other planets too. Space tourism will be the most popular type of holiday in the future.
Great, this is just a practice for you. This is not a homework, but a practice. At the end, when you answer these questions, you can compare the answer with other students. Okay? So it was nice. So I hope to see you soon. Goodbye, people.